another
man.
excellent.
Is that something going on with Jon Snow? What is happening here? All of a sudden, Jon Snow is taking the light. Give us some highlights, Richie. What did you see?
Well, I mean, first off, right off the bat, Jon Snow wakes up, and just the moment, just the quiet moment of him, looking at himself, and oh my God, this is real. I'm alive, And then even for him to say, "Why am I here? I have failed my own people." I mean.
Yeah. It's funny how, and to add to that, I really liked the pep talk that Davos gave Jon Snow, and it's funny how
about making mistakes.
About making mistakes. But the Red Woman, all she wanted to know was, what did you see when you were dead?
Which is funny because Jon Snow knows nothing.
Exactly, and that's exactly what he said. Nothing. I didn't see anything. So, but what other highlights was there?
Well,
we come into Bran. Bran is in the picture now. Well, what's up with that?
Right, more flashbacks. It just is crazy how we keep doing these flashbacks. Again, neither of us have read the books, okay? So we're just TV show watchers. We have not read any of the books. But what I've discovered that there is this thing called R plus L equals J, which is like Rhaegar Targaryen, went with Lyanna Stark, and that was Jon Snow. So the theory is on that flashback that we saw, Bran is watching his dad fight all of these guys, and then you hear a scream. Now my thought is that is Lyanna. That is her. She's having a baby, or maybe she's something's going on, and that's where I think Jon Snow is born.
Because we don't really know what's going on there, and I guess the importance of what Bran is bringing in, because all we knew about Bran in the last episodes is that he got paralyzed, and now he's under a tree talking to a guy wrapped up in a bunch of roots, and but yet now we understanding that he's got these magical powers, and he's getting us into this flashback. But what about you and I? We were talking about this earlier about the possibility of changing the past. Remember?
He heard. Ned Stark heard something.
Yes, because when he called out to him and he turned around and heard something.
Yep.
That possibility of changing the past, and the three-eyed raven didn't want him to go any further.
He was scared. He was very scared, and that's why he immediately took him out. He took him out. He's like, "Why did you do that? He heard me." I think Bran has those powers where he can change the past, but I don't know if he's going to change the past as much as he's going to enlighten people about the past.
Right. Now, then we move on to Khaleesi. Khaleesi's on trial, and the irony of this whole thing that I thought was kind of funny was that they were telling her, "Yeah, you're a free woman, basically, but only in this place." So yet she's a prisoner because she can't move out because all the so-called Khaleesi's are going to die, and they're going to grow old in that compound.
Right. Which I can understand, because if you think about it, that compound of women have all been queens of Drago or the Khals or whatever. So they all thought at one time that they were going to be the queen of the world. So I can understand, and they actually kind of opened their arms and were like, they didn't hit her over the head. They didn't put her down. They were kind of sympathizing with her.
Right. But what they don't really, I think they know it, but they probably don't, they haven't really seen it, is that this particular queen owns like a couple of dragons that are not little Yorkshire Terriers. They're like these humongous monsters,
And they will just burn the whole village.
Right. And guess who just let them loose?
The imp.
That's right.
Our favorite character out of all guys, Tyrion Lannister. And you know what's awesome about Tyrion? Because he hasn't really governed the area yet where he's at. But what's going to happen here is he's going to gain a lot of trust from his core people.
Right.
And I think, quite honestly, he's going to lead a good charge.
But then we come back to Ramsey, all right? And, dude, what is that? I think, you know what? I think Ramsey might be, after Joffrey, the most hated man of Game of Thrones, you know?
Yeah. You know, I got to say, I agree. For some reason, there's something about Joffrey that I just think makes him the most evil, even beyond Reek. I think Joffrey had, like, it's almost like he would do something so horrible and then he would kind of smile.
Yeah, because, well, Joffrey knew that he was bad.
Exactly. Ramsey, I just think, is a psychopath. And
Exactly. Right. I think Ramsey he's just crazy and he doesn't even know it. Where Joffrey knew that he was crazy and he was going to take advantage of that. But now, all of a sudden, Ramsey, this other kingdom comes into Ramsey thinking that, hey, they're in war with the Wildings, and guess who's leading the charge of the Wildings is Jon Snow, who they don't really know that he had died and resurrected and all this good stuff. They think that Jon Snow is alive, well, and hitting this charge with the Wildings, and it's coming for them. Coming for them. What would you say is your surprises? What out of that whole episode, you know, what got your attention?
Well, I think number one surprise was seeing Rickon. I think seeing him and him going to Ramsey, I don't think he will do that much damage because I think he really wants to use that Stark as a pawn. I mean, Jon Snow just saying, I'm done.
Yeah, the game's over. Exactly.
My watch here is done.
My watch is ended.
And then he leaves by himself, mind you. They end the episode with him leaving by himself. Now, I don't believe he's going to leave by himself. But, dude, how are you just going to go and then not say anything?
That's right. Well, I think Jon has come back of the dead, so to speak, and I honestly think he's lost. I mean, within himself. I think he doesn't really know, what am I doing here? What's my purpose? Because remember, he felt that he failed. And, you need time once you fail to kind of find out what happened. Where did I fail? What's going on and all that stuff. And so that's why he doesn't really see that. Now, the Red Woman thinks that he is the chosen one, and that he's the one that been brought back from the God of Light to rule the world, so to speak.
Right, which could potentially be the case.
Yeah, and it could end up that way.
Yeah. Right. I actually doubt the Red Woman's going to let Jon Snow just walk out like that.
Yeah, or we didn't really see him walk out yet. He just said that his watch is in it, and that's the way the episode ends. But what if the Red Woman goes with him and becomes his confidant? He is in a vulnerable state.
Right.
Right now, he needs, now if Davos went along with him, then, I would say, okay, Jon Snow's got a chance, because at least he's got good counsel. But if the Red Woman goes with him, then, God help us all, in that regards, What do you think? What are your predictions? What do you think is going to happen in episode 4?
I think,
in the future.
Well, I think the next episode, what's going to happen, I think, is the dragons. They're unleashed. We have to recall these dragons. Where are these dragons? Yep. Show us them flying. Show us them locating where she is. Okay? I think we locate where Khaleesi is with the dragons.
And to your point, if they happen to see the dragons coming by, then, that could be a good deal there, What about Jon Snow? What do you think?
Well, again, we saw him kind of leave, exit. I don't believe he's going to go by himself. I actually think the wildlings will go with them, and he'll just say, hey, I want to go to Winterfell. I want to go home. And they'll say, hey, well, guess what? You got these Boltons over here. They'll kind of give him the idea of what's going on. And I think once he realizes what he has done, what Ramses has done to Theon and Sansa. Oh, he's bringing everyone over, and I think a war starts. I don't think we see the war, but I definitely think that the conversations start.
Really, I think the true war is with the White Walkers.
Right.
I think the White and I think there's going to be a lot of people losing to the White Walkers because remember they kill the White Walkers and they'll just get up.
Right.
You know.
Right. Now tell me this: do you think the White Walkers will play again this episode or this next episode? When do we see those guys again? I
don't know, but they're scary. They're scary, but and they're only. I think the only people that the White Walker is afraid of is one person, and that's Mr. Jon Snow. Well, we have to see. We'll have to see. Do you get God?
Get God!
Get God! We gotta get God! We gotta get God! All right, so we'll see what happens on the.
All right, I love you, Dad.
I'll talk to you later. Love you too.
Get God!